good morning and welcome to the July 25th, 2018 Board of County Commissioners meeting. I'm Kate Flavin, Public Information Officer with Sedgwick County. This morning we'll have our first public hearing regarding the 2019 recommended budget, and I'd like to include a few more dates about the budget right now. So we have our social media town hall next week. It will be Thursday, August the 2nd on Facebook and Twitter from noon until 1:30 p.m. The second budget hearing, in-person budget hearing, will be Thursday, August the 9th at 6 p.m. here at 525 North Main. It will be in the Commission meeting room on the 3rd floor. And then commissioners are expected to adopt the budget then on Wednesday, August 15th at 9 a.m. There's also an online forum at sedgwickcounty.org, and you can leave your thoughts on the recommended budget there. One final announcement, the primary election will be on Tuesday, August the 7th, so please go out and vote at your designated location that day or early, and you can find those locations also online at sedgwickcounty.org. With that, Chairman, I will hand the meeting over to you.
Thank you, Kate. Appreciate it. Thanks for everyone being in the audience today and for all the folks that have signed up to speak. And we also want to welcome those that are joining us online and those that are joining us on KPTS this morning. We do have a number of speakers. The main order of business today is going to be, as Kate mentioned, the discussion of our budget for 2019. But with that, I'd like to call the business meeting together this morning for Wednesday, July the 25th, 2018. Next item, please.
Invocation to be led by Pastor Ron Proct, Olivet Baptist Church. Please remain standing for the flag salute.
Please pray with me. Father, we're gathered here this morning to take care of business that affects the lives of thousands of people. I pray for wisdom for these men who will be making those decisions, who in their deliberations have to consider all kinds of things, budgets and taxes and all those things. Father, give them wisdom. We pray for courage to take those stands that are right, that will be positive for the lives of our people. Thank you for those who serve alongside them, who work in places that are not seen. We thank you for our firefighters and our policemen and our EMS workers who rush into places of difficulty while all of us rush out. Father, I pray for wisdom and courage to make decisions today that bring honor to your name and encourage and build up the lives of the people of Sedgwick County. And for that, we give you praise in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor, thank you very much for being here today. We appreciate it. Next item, please.
Roll call. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Present.
Commissioner Ranzau.
Present.
Commissioner Howell.
Present.
Commissioner Unruh.
Present.
Chairman Dennis.
Present. Next item, please.
Public agenda.
Thank you. We do have a number of folks that have signed up to speak on the public agenda today, and I'll go in the order that they signed up. So the first person that signed up is Laurel Alkiri.
Been called lots of things, but that name's close. So thank you.
Alkire.
Good morning. I'm Laurel Alkire, Executive Director of Senior Services, and I first want to thank all of the commissioners for your continued support of senior services and the programs that we provide that allow seniors to lead quality lives, stay connected, and remain at home. Our senior employment program, Roving Pantry, Meals on Wheels, and our 4 senior centers here in Wichita all receive meal levy funding. And in 2018, your funds will allow us to serve just under 3,800 seniors with those dollars. Today, however, I want to focus on our Meals on Wheels program, which is our largest and most recognizable program. We are asking for an increase of $22,000 on our Aging Meals on Wheels, which serve seniors 60 and older, and we're also asking for $3,000 increase in our physical disability meals program, which serves people under 60. Meals on Wheels provides a hot, nutritious meal once a day to homebound people who have various chronic health conditions that limit their mobility as well as their ability to prepare meals. We use volunteers to deliver, and those are hot, nutritious meals. We follow state and federal guidelines, so they are developed to keep people healthier and be able to maintain that health. But the volunteer is not only delivering a meal, but they're also providing a safety check. The majority of our seniors on these programs are frail, alone, and have little or no support systems. So that safety check is important, and we take our responsibility for our 1,500 plus clients every year very seriously. On any given year, 60 to 70% of those clients report to us that the volunteer is the only person they see on a regular basis. So again, that job is pretty important. In 2016, the agency embarked on a remodel project which produced a brand new kitchen, Meals Kitchen, which is triple the size of our old kitchen and also much more efficient. This kitchen is going to allow us to increase the capacity to serve as the baby boomers start coming on the service. Right now we're doing 850 to 900 meals a day. We could literally do 3,000 meals a day in that kitchen. And someday that might be required. But it also has increased our capacity to go beyond the same old, same old. We've been doing the same kind of menus for 50 years, and I'm excited to say that we are now looking at offering choice in menu items. We're going to start offering that next month. We also want to look at doing more specialized diets like renal and diabetic diets for people who need those kind of meals. And so this kitchen really gives us the capacity to go beyond anything that we've ever been able to do. And we're very excited because we know the baby boomers are coming and they're going to be a completely different animal than the seniors we serve today. I always say that today they want meats, potatoes, and gravies, and that the boomers are going to want salads and lattes. So that's a completely different menu, and we've got to figure out how to do that. The cost of food and disposables for us has increased 35% since 2010, which is when we got any significant increases in our funding of any kind. And total program cost for meals is up 19% over that same time period. We did receive a $2,000 increase for our Meals on Wheels and meal levy back in 2015, and this year we received $7,600 additional for the PD, the physical disability meals, but that was due to another entity that did not qualify for those funds this year. The increase in 2019 that we're asking for will cover the cost of food and staffing, including adding another part-time kitchen aide in that large kitchen. So we're very excited about that. We are asking not just you, but all of our funding sources for little increases in order to help us cover our continuing costs. People ask me why I don't have enough staff. It's because the money I do raise has to cover the increasing cost of doing business, insurance, utilities, supplies, all of those things are going up, and we're trying our best to keep that. So I have a small staff, but they work very, very hard to take care of our people. I realize I've given you a lot of information, but I want to make sure that you understand how deeply we care for the seniors that we serve. We're all going to be older one day, if we're lucky, and we want to be here not only to continue to serve, this is our 50th year, the seniors that we're serving now, but be able to meet the needs of the seniors in the future. And so I'm going to end that with just saying what I always tell people is aging ain't for sissies. And with that, I will open it up to questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly. What was the increase that's requested for Meals on Wheels?
$22,000 in the 60 plus and $3,000 in the physical disability for those 60 and, or under 60.
All right. And you started out talking about senior centers. Are you connected to them as well? Or?
We are. We operate downtown, Orchard, Linwood, and Northeast Senior Center, our senior centers as well.
Okay. And so
we, however, did not ask for any increases in those programs.
I understand. So 3,800 seniors, is that just for senior centers?
That's just for the meal levy money that you will serve under our employment program, Roving Pantry, the 4 senior centers, and Meals on Wheels.
All right. Thank you very much.
We serve close to 10,000 seniors a year total.
All right. That helps. Thank you so much.
Okay. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Thank you. Laurel, good to see you
Good
again.
Good to see you.
I'm sorry I didn't make it to the open house that you had last Thursday with Susan Peters and Dawson Grimsley. Was that for the new kitchen that you were just referring
Yes, it was
to?
really to show off what we've done. This is just phase 1. We still need a couple million more to continue to add more space in our senior centers, especially. But the Meals on Wheels kitchen was the first thing, and it's fabulous. And I love, love, love showing off that kitchen.
Well, you have a incredible campaign going on
Yes, we do.
to raise
Thank
money
you.
for that and just enhance the services. And what you do is extremely vital and critical for our community, and I'm very supportive of that additional money for Meals on Wheels.
Great.
It's hard to find another program that would have as much of a dramatic effect on a senior
Right.
anywhere.
Right.
There's just nothing that can compete with it. So.
And we have been fortunate. Several of the commissioners, including Commissioner O'Donnell, have come out and delivered Meals on Wheels, so they see firsthand what we're dealing with.
You need to invite us again.
We
I'm sure
will.
all
We
five
didn't
of
do
us
it
will
this year because of the remodel, but I'll make sure I get it on the schedule for next year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Laurel.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you being here. We now have a total of 11 folks signed up, but it looks like they are pretty well all signed up to speak about what is really our first issue on new business today. So what I'd like to do is open up our public hearing for the budget, and then we'll go through each of the people, because it'd be more appropriate if we covered a lot of this stuff during our budget hearing rather than during public agenda. With that, Madam Clerk, next item.
New business. Item A, public hearing regarding the 2019 Sedgwick County budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. This morning is the first public hearing on the 2019 budget. Sedgwick County's recommended operating budget totals $419,042,893. This budget will be supported with a property tax levy of $142,756,344, which is approximately equivalent to 29.359 mills based on the estimated assessed valuation and subject to technical adjustments. I recommend you open the public hearing, receive comments, and close the public hearing once it is over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Do we have any questions from the Commission on what the proposal is? Seeing none, we'll go back to public agenda then, because this is a public hearing on the budget. The next person that signed up to speak this morning is Jim Burgess.
Hello, my name is Jim Burgess. I do appreciate that you listened to what Laurel had to say. I think that's one of the greatest programs out there and strongly support that. Would hope that the commissioners would hear what she had to say. By way of disclosure, I am on the advisory board for the Derby Senior Center, and I am also on the Advisory Council on Aging for the Department of Aging for Sedgwick County. But today I'm here speaking as a private citizen, only because I'm interested in senior centers and want to see them do well. Please note that I am not seeking improvement in the overall structure of the budget for senior centers. Those not qualified for additional funding will continue at the same level that has been funded for several years. This year, however, there are 6 senior centers qualified for budget improvement and seeking additional funding under the contract that they currently work under. Those 6 senior centers are the Clearwater Senior Center in Mr. O'Donnell's district, needing $17,000 additional. The Hayesville Senior Center, also in O'Donnell's district, needing $22,000 in additional funding. The Oaklawn Senior Center under Commissioner Howell, seeking $22,000 additionally. The Mulvane Senior Center, also under Commissioner Howell, seeking $17,000 additionally. The Valley Center Senior Center under Randall's district, $17,000 additionally, and the Park City Senior Center under Mr. Ranzau, $22,000 additionally. That's a total addition of $113,000. Please note that last year we had Bel Air Senior Center also. They have withdrawn their request for additional funding for this year, so they are not included. All these senior centers have met the criteria issued by the Board of County Commissioners and the Department on Aging, or Division on Aging, and should be entitled to the additional funding based on the agreement that they have signed and are required to abide by. Last year, Commissioner Unruh stated that the funds must be available in order to include them in the budget, and last year also Commissioner Howell was able to prove that there were in fact funds available, and even if there are not funds available, there is plenty of room in the mill levy on aging to fund the additional $113,000. So what I'm asking the Board of County Commissioners today is to allocate that $113,000 additional funding to meet the contract that has been agreed upon with those 6 senior centers. At the final budget hearing last year, the Division of Aging distributed a listing of priorities for funding through the Aging Mill Levy. That listing showed senior centers as the lowest priority. I would like to make these following statements. The number 1 priority on that list was nutrition funding for seniors. You've heard one need through the Meals on Wheels, but know that all senior centers, every single one of them, offers nutrition programs for eligible participants. The number 3 priority was commodity distribution. Almost all of the senior centers offer some kind of food distribution through community gardens, bread distributions, and other sources. The number 5 priority was medical transportation. Almost all senior centers offer medical transportation for needing seniors through the RSVP program, which happens to be the number 10 priority on that list. So the senior centers are involved in the higher priority items, so it seems appropriate that they should get the funding that the contract that you all issued calls for. Senior centers are the primary way that seniors become aware of or obtain services specifically for older people. It is clear that senior centers represent a safe place for seniors to congregate. The senior centers requesting additional funding are striving to continually improve their offerings for their clientele. The additional $113,000 will certainly go a long way in helping the senior citizens of Sedgwick County to remain happy and healthy in their own homes. I might mention also that most senior citizens are taxpayers and almost all of them are voters. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Questions?
I see no questions. Thank you very much. Next up, Kevin Arnell. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for the opportunity to appear. I know you have a lot of a full agenda and a lot on your plate this morning, so I promise I'll be brief. I'm here as the board president of the Sedgwick County Zoo. My name again is Kevin Arnell. Here for just 2 quick reasons, the first of which and the most important of which is to thank you all for your leadership and the stable funding agreement that we've enjoyed here this first year and the opportunity to work together on our community's behalf to keep the zoo operating smoothly. The second is to give you a quick update on some developments at the zoo and some things we have coming forward this fall. But on the first point, your leadership in our community on the stable funding and operating agreement has been critical for us this year. It's permitted us to begin to address a backlog of repair and maintenance issues that had troubled us for a couple of years. It's also given us the ability to plan going forward with that more stable operating stream, and that's been critical as the county has this year as well. As we've thought about our future, you know, this community puts a lot of trust in our zoo, and they should. We're trying to develop a world-class zoo and an experience for all the folks in our county, and being the largest tourist destination in our state, all the folks that visit our community. So we've engaged in some strategic planning this year to think about how we can do that a little better, a little more efficiently. We try to be good stewards with the budget funds that you entrust us and the community entrust us. And so we're excited this fall to be able to roll out, I think, a new strategic plan for our zoo's future. And again, would be glad to take any questions, but really just wanted to express our appreciation for your leadership and your support of our zoo. It's kind of a crown jewel of our community, and it's important to all of us, and we thank you for that.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for being here today. I don't see any questions, but I know that we've been working hard on getting the new strategic plan out and also looking at some changes to the zoo. I understand looking at a new entryway for the zoo. So we appreciate that, but we do have a question from Commissioner Howell.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say, again, I appreciate Jeff Etling, our new director of the zoo. He's doing a tremendous job. But you came and visited us a couple weeks ago when we talked about kind of the strategic plan and some of the things you just mentioned a minute ago, but is there any update on the male elephant? I'm just curious if anything's happened there yet.
Johnny, the male elephant, has been out with the entire herd now and is getting along well. He was described yesterday in a board meeting as a true gentleman and is getting along well with all of our girls and the one small bull we have, Titan. So our hope is that with elephant gestation periods being about 2 years, that maybe in a couple of years or so we'll have some baby elephants in Sedgwick County.
Well, it certainly is exciting, and thank you for taking time to come and visit with us. And glad to see that the zoo is thriving, and thank you for your leadership there as well.
Thank you.
And I think part of the reason that Johnny is getting along well is that our keepers are doing just a tremendous job of integrating our herd together. I understand from a little discussion we had yesterday that they're not having quite that luck up in Omaha with their new male that they just brought in. So it's an interesting process, but our zookeepers do a great job.
They do indeed.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next is John Mosley.
Good morning. I'm John Mosley, live at 5 Hillcrest in Eastboro. I'm a retired executive at Shepler's Western Wear, and I've lived in Wichita or Eastboro for the last 37 years. I'm here this morning representing the Board of Trustees at Exploration Place to tell you how grateful we are for your support during this last year. This is my 7th year on the Board of Directors of Exploration Place, and the past 2 years I served as the chairman. Because of your support, Exploration Place was able to serve over 297,000 people during the last 12 months. These people were young and old. They were citizens of Sedgwick County, as well as visitors. But most importantly, many of these people were our children, who were exposed to the fascinating world of STEM. Exploration Place is part of the STEM workplace pipeline. In many cases, EP is the first opportunity to learn about science and technology, and hopefully creates a lasting lifetime learning and interest. In late 2017, Sedgwick County signed a 5-year funding agreement with Exploration Place, Inc. This agreement provides support from 2018 through 2022. The same amount of support each year, and in fact, the same amount of support as the 2 prior years. The stability afforded by this agreement makes it much easier for us to plan for our future, and having this agreement assists our team tremendously when applying for grants and also in our fundraising. We thank you for this great recognition that our organization is a benefit to the community, since it directly correlates with the quality of life, and through our exhibits and programs, it's aligned with workforce development, which positively impacts the economic development of Sedgwick County. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the staff at Exploration Place, and the community full of stakeholders, we thank you for your support. And lastly, I'd like to thank Commissioner Howell, Mike Scholes, and Tim Kaufman, who've served on our Board of Trustees during the past year. Their assistance and their support has certainly contributed to our success. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We appreciate you being here this morning. I was able to sit in on a little planning session that you had here a couple weeks ago. Take a look at how STEM fits into the overall scheme of things with the Exploration Place. And I enjoyed that, and I look forward to some of the outcomes of some of the discussions that went on that day. Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to say thank you for coming today and appreciate your leadership there as well. And I just wanted to, for anybody who might be listening to this, I want to just make a plug for the Design Fly exhibit that we put in place this last year. It's tremendous, and I think it's had a direct impact on some of the thriving successful numbers we've had just recently in the last 6 months to 12 months. I think it's really trending up in the right direction, and appreciate what you do there, and as well as Jan Luth, and for her leadership there as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions. Thank you. Next speaker is Chuck Glover. Welcome.
This is my first meeting at the County Commission in probably 12 years. So my comments today are basically generic things regarding basically for collaboration between city and county on some items that you might want to consider in the future. I have no particular requests for money or what have you for any specific issue, but I'll just cover them briefly. I don't know if drones will be on the agenda today as far as budgeting money. I am categorically against them, either civilian, which I consider to be something that we have plenty of parks in rural areas to do. I don't think they should be allowed in residential areas. As far as police drones, I think there should be bona fide probable cause of illegal activity. Moving on to the next thing would be, in the absence of the Judge Riddle Boys Ranch, which has now been dissolved, recently articles in the paper have indicated public education student behavior has devolved since 2013 to the present. I believe that students who have repetitive, disruptive behavior should have an alternative solution for their education. Again, this would require city-county collaboration to solve such a problem. 3, the recycling at Dillon stopped in the fall of 2017. I'm curious as whether the county is working on alternative solutions for recycling. Multiple drop-off locations. I don't know if you have done anything with that. Like I say, this is for the future. I also believe the county should have multiple sites other than the Stillwell Street location for paint and hazmat drop-off. 4, the city-county law enforcement training. Is the detention academy solely for jailers training, or is that for basically both the police and the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office? Number 5, what is the near-term plan for Phil Ruffin with regard to his land purchase of Greyhound Park? Mr. Dennis has indicated that raising the clubhouse would cost $1 million. Is that going to be part of the budget this year? And again, whatever information you might have on that. And lastly, the Hartman Arena is an ideal replacement for celebrity concerts in contrast to Intrust Bank Arena, which has poorly planned seating, in my opinion, again. What I would like to see Mr. Hartman do is put in a 4-sided jumbotron so that you can visually see the people who present in his concerts. Those are my remarks, so if you have any questions.
Well, thank you for being here this morning. I understand, I think I've got a meeting with you at 1 o'clock this afternoon on my calendar.
Yes, we do.
So some of these questions I can answer for you at that time.
All righty.
Okay. Thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Rita Linens.
Good morning, and
Morning.
thank you, Commissioners, for allowing me this time to visit with you. I live at 128 North Rainbow Lake Road, and I represent the Sunrise Rotary Club and the Sunrise Boundless Playscape in Sedgwick County Park. And I might add that just as a point of information, Sedgwick County, the Sunrise Boundless Playscape is kind of a destination spot for, especially for children in our schools in the area who take field trips to the Sedgwick County Zoo, and then they often have their lunch break at the Sunrise Boundless Playscape. The Sunrise Boundless Playscape is a 1.5-acre inclusive playscape in Sedgwick County Park, which was established in part by the county and private funds, which totaled $1.75 million, which were raised by my Rotary Club. It is inclusive. It carries the banner boundless because its play structures allow any person, child, parent, teacher, or caregiver who is in a wheelchair access to the highest point on the playground equipment. What does that mean for a veteran paralyzed by war injuries, a mom in a wheelchair due to ALS, a child with spina bifida? It means that they can play right alongside each other and not be sidelined watching everyone else have fun. The Sunrise Boundless Playscape is an asset to our community, but it will only remain an asset with an annual commitment in the Sedgwick County budget. The Sunrise Rotary Club is 39 members strong. For 8 years, we have assembled volunteers twice a year, equipped with brooms, shovels, pressure hoses, and leaf blowers to clean the playground. Each year, our club pays for weeds to be sprayed professionally. We hold an annual golf tournament, and some of those funds are earmarked for the playscape. We initiated a new fund drive in 2016 to enhance and expand the playscape. We have now accumulated $155,000. 3 new play areas will be completed this fall using those funds. A wheelchair accessible maze with large planter boxes filled with ornamental grasses. A repurposed sand play area which will have a new climbing structure and spinning wheel. New sound play garden with a console of durable outdoor instruments, including kettle drums, chimes, and 2 xylophone-styled instruments. 14 years ago, a story in the Wichita Eagle announcing our club's desire to build a new playground in Sedgwick County Park resulted in our first donation, a $20 check from an Intrust Bank employee who was blind. He wrote, "As a totally blind adult, I know how much it means for a child to be accepted and to be able to play and enjoy the same kinds of activities as their able-bodied friends." The Sunrise Boundless Playscape is a sizable asset. 1.5 acres, surrounded by county improvements, which include a paved parking lot, new restrooms, and a beautiful new shelter. We are asking you to protect your investment by setting aside funds each year to maintain and enhance the playscape. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Rita. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Just wanted to thank you and Connie and your architect for coming and meeting with, I know you at least met with Commissioner Dennis yesterday and Commissioner Under and myself. I don't know if you were able to meet with the other commissioners or not, but it was great to learn about your investment of well north of $1 million, what you started 16 years ago. It's really a tremendous asset for our community, and I know tons of people that use it on an annual basis.
Thank you. I think it is a great example of a public-private partnership that's gone right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I know we had a chance to speak yesterday, and I've spoken to you several times in the past. I've been out to the playground when your folks have been working on it. Went out when it was rather cold it was several months ago now when you started putting in the maze.
That's right.
And it's amazing that 39 people have been able to put together a program that's worth about $1.75 million, and given that to Sedgwick County for the use. I know that our attendance at Sedgwick County Park has gone up. Last I heard, attendance was over 1 million people a year use that park, and a large portion of that is the kids, they come in buses. Every time I go out there's buses parked there from different school districts and so forth. So I think it's a great project that you all put together, and the fact that you all came together with almost a little less than $2 million with 39 people is commendable.
Thank you. Could I ask the people here in support of the Playscape to stand up that are from my club and others? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next speaker, Connie Sedgwick. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Connie Zinkevich, and I am a member of Sunrise Rotary, but I'm here really to speak on behalf of my daughter who has significant disabilities. And I became involved with the Sunrise Rotary all those years ago when they needed to talk to a parent of a kid who couldn't play on a playground. And so it was part of my story about trying to play on a regular playground with a daughter who couldn't sit in a swing, had to sit in my lap and trying to hold her and have the chains in my elbows as I was trying to let her play with her brothers and sisters and her friends. So this playground means a lot to families who have kids with disabilities that can take them there and play with other kids and enjoy the same amenities that other people in the community have. The other topic related to disability that I would like to address is the fact that about a year ago there was a regulation that was looked at for transportation of people with disabilities to programs that serve them in the community. And for many years, Metropolitan Transit Authority had subsidized rides for people with disabilities to their programming for organizations like Stark and Catholic Charities and Catch and so forth. That regulation was looked at, and they said that it was no longer applicable, and all of those agencies had cuts to their transportation budgets, which really reflected down to the people that served, who have an additional fee now, and they're very, very limited resources to have to get around town. And so I'd like to have the Commission think about how a possible relationship with the city and the Metropolitan Transit Authority might be worked out so that those services can be provided to people who don't have any other way to get around in our community. And those are all my comments. Any questions?
Thank you very much. Any questions? Commissioner Unruh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, Connie, I'm glad you brought up the comment about transportation. We are presently trying to work with the city to set up a pilot program to see how that might work long term. And so that's consideration for responding to that need is underway.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions, but we appreciate you being here to speak on both those issues today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madison Shiner.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Madison Schreiner, and I'm the director of the Park City Senior Center in Park City, Kansas. This September, I will have been the director there for 4 years, and I'm very proud to say that I have seen much growth and success in our little center and the seniors it serves. Just from years 2014 to 2016, the center saw an almost 22% increase in active membership. We have had, on average, over 700 active members every year since 2014. Since then, the center has maintained the attendance and programming requirements for a higher level of funding without additional mill levy funds. Frankly, with the increase in attendance and programming, we have outgrown our space and staff, among other improvements and additions that should be made. While the City of Park City is extremely dedicated to the Senior Center and those it serves, for continued growth and ability to serve the increasing needs of seniors to remain independent, additional mill levy funding is necessary. On any given day, we can have 100 to 150 seniors, many on a daily basis, utilize the services and programs we provide. With our center, seniors have access to the approximately 70 nutritious meals we serve and deliver to Park City, Valley Center, Keachai, and Bel Air every day. Rides to various locations through our volunteer transportation program, affordable fitness classes to promote physical and mental health, free Medicare counseling and tax assistance by unbiased professionals, convenient health maintenance such as foot and nail care, and blood pressure clinics provided by healthcare professionals, educational opportunities to promote cognitive health, information and referrals, a community space to promote socialization and prevent isolation, and much, much more. Isolation and loneliness has recently been found to be a particularly detrimental plight to many seniors. According to the Association of Healthcare Journalists, social isolation and loneliness are associated with increased mortality in older adults. Social isolation also has been linked to other adverse health effects, including dementia, increased risk for hospital readmission, and increased risk for falls. I have also recently read and believe that loneliness may be just as much a public health threat as smoking and obesity. Going to school for long-term care administration, much focus was on the continuum of care in the healthcare field. Though it does not receive the attention other stages in the continuum receives, such as acute hospital care, I wholeheartedly believe senior centers to be an integral part of the continuum of care for seniors in our communities that can lead to more independence, better mental and physical health, and ultimately a decrease in healthcare costs for seniors and society as a whole. Though I may be a bit biased, I think the Park City Senior Center does a fabulous job with their role in the continuum of care, but it could do more. It is up to us to invest in this growing population's well-being. I and the Park City Senior Center graciously ask you, the Board of County Commissioners, to reconsider your decision to remove supplemental funding for senior centers seeking upgrade from the county budget. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. I don't see any questions.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
you. Next is Nancy Anderson.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me speak. I'm Nancy Anderson from Valley Center. I'm a volunteer at the Senior Center, and I just want to reiterate that the funding would really help us. 3 years ago, we were down to about 15 people serving lunches on Tuesdays and Thursdays in Valley Center, and we've now built it back up. We do have a new senior center and library community center together, but we really need more help with our programs. And 3 years ago, we had about 15 people coming on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, yesterday we had about 45. So we are increasing, but we're really trying to work on new programs for them. Valley Center's kind of been, I don't know, when the budget was cut, we kind of got left out. We have a lot of volunteers now who work and really care for our people. And the people in Valley Center, we have a large aging group, and they just need more programs. And like I say, our volunteers have done a great job, but I just urge you to reinstate the help that the community center needs. Thank you.
Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This might be a question for the previous speaker as well, but I'm just curious, does Valley Center and or Park City, do the cities donate, provide some funding for these senior centers, do you know?
The City of Valley Center does. Right now, we didn't have enough money for a director, so the city has been doing that for 3 years, I believe. We've started with part-time and we've gone to a full-time director, but all of our programs are run with volunteers and a few volunteers, and the seniors kind of get into that.
Do you operate out of a government building, like a city hall? I mean,
She's sorry.
Is that possible?
She's the city.
Can you approach the podium? Because
I'd be happy to. Thank you.
that's the only way we get your voice.
Yes, absolutely. Christine Polian, Assistant City Administrator for Valley Center. I oversee finance and administration. For several years, we have subsidized the senior center by providing the director. Initially, it was on a part-time basis. We would offset those dollars with the grant that we've received from the county. Just this year, we built a new community center, but prior to that, we had a community building that we wholly funded. So outside of programming, the city has really provided a lot of the funding. So we've got a new community center. We are providing a full-time director, and we'll also be maintaining the building, the new community center.
Now, make sure I understand what you just said. So you said if you receive supplemental funding, then you'll do a full-time director?
We currently are.
You do have a full-time director now?
We currently are, yeah.
And you have a new community center that was provided by Valley Center?
Correct. It was a joint effort between the library and the city.
Okay. And then in terms of the city's support to this, did you, to make sure I understand, when the county did provide funding for the senior center, did you say you offset? What was that phrase you used?
The programming, basically, we've always provided the building and the staff, not outside of volunteers, but we've always had a director for years. I've been with the city for 15 years. That has actually preceded my tenure with the city. So we've provided a director on a part-time basis and the building for 20 plus years. The $5,000 that we receive is not anywhere covered, just those two items. But we've also helped in other areas. But as far as programming is concerned, the senior center has been somewhat self-sufficient in that regard.
So I just want to make sure I understand. So if there is funding from the county, you're not using that to offset some of the city's expenses in any way. The city's committed to this regardless of what happens to
the city's
county.
Committed regardless. We're in it to win it.
Because I understand. I mean, it has happened in the past where the funding from the county did go up a little bit in some senior centers, and then as a consequence, the city's backed off their funding. I want to make sure that's not something that's.
Honestly, that's a good question, and I don't have a great answer for it right now. I've got to be honest. We certainly want to put more resources
Do you know how much money is in the Valley Center budget for the senior center? Do you know how much they provide?
I'm going to spitball it, but probably $60,000 a year.
Okay, very good. I would like to ask the same questions to the lady from Park City. If that's okay.
Thank you.
Is that acceptable, Mr. Chairman?
All right.
Okay. Can you please talk about the funding from Park City, to the senior centers?
Yes, I'd be happy to. The city of Park City has been always very supportive of the senior center in funding everything except for, the mill levy funds that have been provided in years past have gone specifically for salaries and benefits for senior center full-time director. And with the additional funds that are requested for next year, the the city of Park City has in fact increased their funding as well for 2019. And I do have a copy of the proposed budget for 2019 as far as the senior center goes.
And so would you agree that regardless of what the county does, if we have level funding or any increase in funding, or whatever happens there, is it the city's intention that they would continue to provide the same support going forward?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Next speaker is Charlene Portia Washington.
I've decided to pass. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, Andre Sislo. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Andre Cisco. I live at 5015 Jade, which is located in Oaklawn.
What is an elected official's duty towards senior citizens? The truth of the matter is each of us has some degree of responsibility for the welfare of our older citizens. We as a county must decide what type of safety net we put in place to ensure that our older citizens have the support they need in what is known as the golden years. Giving support to our senior centers is one way that Sedgwick County helps support that net. Sedgwick County put in place requirements for senior centers to operate. What requirements they need to complete in order to receive funding from Sedgwick County. This is not something new. We all know that the senior population is growing and that the needs of seniors offered are important. We also know that the needs of 10 years ago are not the same needs of today. Our seniors are smarter, they're more active than what they used to be. As a government, we must ask, are we adequately planning, making appropriate provisions and services in the well-being of our aging people? As elected officials, we are giving the senior centers the support they need because as elected officials, we are being held accountable for a job well done. Information, education, assistance senior citizens on issues and matters that affect their wealth, education, quality of life, and general welfare are, as we as county commissioners, advocating for better public policy and services to improve the quality of our senior citizens. Developing and implementing programs and activities that benefit senior citizens to help keep those seniors in their homes longer. Conduct and sponsor outreach programs and activities to assist senior citizens. That is what Sedgwick County has done by giving the centers the requirements to and meet the different funding levels. As the county commissioners, each of you are responsible for seeing that that funding level is met. When it is all said and done, we must ask ourselves before we go to bed at night with confidence that we have done everything we have done within our power to meet the needs of senior citizens. To be effective elected officials, we must be responsible for their needs of the constituents. I believe that the role of limited government should look after the needs of our veterans, elderly, and citizens, children, and those institutions to improve the quality of life of struggling families. Blessed is the society that has the oldies. Each county commissioner appointed a resident within their district to be on the senior advisory board. Yet, did you just appoint that member, or are you hearing what that member you appointed is sharing with you about the senior center needs? As Oaklawn Improvement District board member, I believe in supporting the community and the needs of the community. Oaklawn Improvement District received in 2018 $7,407 for 1 mill. The City of Hayesville receives $57,000 for 1 mill. The City of Mulvane receives $82,316 for 1 mill. Sedgwick County receives 4, 6, 8, 1, 4, 0, 5 mill for 1 mill. Why do I bring that up? Oaklawn Senior Center receives from Sedgwick County $35,000 in funding at a senior level 2. The Oaklawn Senior Center has been operating as a multi-purpose level center 1 for 3 years, now meeting the requirements set out by Sedgwick County. They should be receiving funding at $57,000. The seniors that attend our center are 1/3 of them live within the Oaklawn Improvement District, while 2/3 of them live outside of the Oaklawn Improvement District. While we all live within Sedgwick County, and we are thankful for the funds we received in 2017, the Oaklawn Improvement District spent $1.61 mills of the Oaklawn Improvement District General Fund to help offset the cost of the Oaklawn Senior Center. As an Oaklawn Improvement District Board, I am asking Sedgwick County Commissioners to see that the funding is met at each Sedgwick County Senior Center standards. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. I just wanted to make a couple of points and ask for clarification. So,
sure.
I've known Andre Cisco for a number of years. Just by my point of reference, she's a great person that works in the VA hospital, if I got that correct.
You do. I'm Chief of Dining Services.
So I just want to make that connection. She's a tremendous individual that serves at the VA hospital. Mm-hmm. She also serves as an elected official on the Oaklawn Improvement District. and appreciate your service to the community. I want to say the Oaklawn Community Center is tremendous, and I would encourage anybody here to go check it out. It actually is, if you will, it's the center point of the community. They don't really have much else. There's a few businesses up along 47th Street, a couple on Clifton, but for the most part, the community center there is really the center point of the entire community. And you're very inclusive. You don't. You guys also have people from Sunview. And you mentioned that 2/3 of the people that are accessing the senior center actually are from places like Derby and Hayesville, other places in Wichita.
Derby, Hayesville, Mulvane. Seniors tend to travel. Whenever I came last time, you guys talked about where seniors go. Seniors tend to go where things are happening. So that's where why they tend to travel. No senior center out here. Everybody goes to different senior centers because they have different friends in different areas, just like you as county commissioners visit different places throughout your lifetime. And seniors go to different senior centers to hook up with either a nutrition meal here that I eat a friend with, or I go bowling with this person, or whatever the case may be. So we all travel.
So just want to make sure I understand, because I think that you said something that kind of was hard to understand. I'll make sure I just want to clarify. You said that 1 mil in the Oaklawn Improvement District generates, what, $7,000?
In those are numbers from 2018. In 2019, of course, they might change. But for the most part, Oaklawn Improvement District receives from our mill money is 1 mil that we generate from our general fund. Make sure I give you the right dollar amount as I try to go through my papers backwards. Is 7,000. Now I can't find it. $7,407 is what we generate for 1 mil. We don't have a whole lot of area. People think that Oaklawn Improvement District is a whole lot bigger than what we actually are, because they always think that we go from MacArthur all the way to the river, but we don't actually. Sunview is from MacArthur to Sunview Street, and then Oaklawn picks up from there. So we have certain boundaries in sewer improvement districts, so we are a small area. So it basically, the Oaklawn Improvement District supports the senior center and the center itself. But last year, in this particular year, it cost us $1.61 more out of our general fund to help offset what we needed to do to run the center. Now, as far as you asked the question, does the Oaklawn Improvement District help offset the center itself? The Oaklawn Improvement District, our center is attached to our office, because then that way we can be most efficient with our taxpayers' dollars and monies. But it takes 3.13 of our general fund that we do to the center itself. And then in that 1 year, or last year, we were 1.61 to help offset. Because I keep good books, because I'm the treasurer. So I do a report that says, like, how much was my utilities, how much was my office supplies, how much was everything. And that's how I come up with the dollar.
So just make sure I understand your last comment there. So 3.13 mils of your OID budget goes to senior center.
No, 1.3 helps to offset, because we still pay a third of the utilities, and we pay that's the general fund money.
Okay.
We did 1.6 more than that to help offset what the county didn't do. So in that, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
It sounds like we're not, but we're operating at the multipurpose one. There were standards that were set out a number of years ago to achieve those levels. You have to do so many baselines, so many activities, so many education, and have so many seniors that are attending your center in order to receive those different funding levels. And we've been operating at a multipurpose one for 3 years, but we've only been receiving funding of $35,000 from the county.
So again, this is kind of a unique situation.
Sure.
I would just make the point that the $22,000 that would be the funding that would be appropriate for the agreement that the county provided to the senior centers for the performance measures. That $22,000 increase is more than 3 mils.
It is for us.
I mean, so the ability for y'all to generate money to provide for yourself is pretty limited, and I think that makes this a very unique a very unique situation. I mean, other places in my district, for example, I also represent Plainview and Hilltop and other areas I consider to be very, there's a lot of folks there that have financial challenges, I'll just say that. So this is an area that the ability for them to help themselves is very limited. But it's actually not, it's outside the city. People don't know that. It's not part of the city of Wichita.
It's not.
And so you don't have a city providing any type of funding. You do what you can, but the $22,000 would be a lot of money compared to your budget and your ability to raise money on your mill levy. So
Oaklawn Improvement District has been very thankful for Sedgwick County. They have helped us tremendously when we've had the ice storms, the tornado. I don't want to by no means state that the county has not helped Oaklawn Improvement District, because you guys have immensely helped us in more than one way. We have quality of life issues down there, as the commissioner stated, that are many very different and unique to any other area. I can't just keep increasing my mill levy because I don't generate that much money. I have a lot of houses in that area, but our houses are, you know, $20,000 and $30,000 homes, or $40,000 homes, or $50,000. They're nowhere near $150,000 homes out there. So my one mill does not generate that much money.
right. Well, thank you for the clarification, and I appreciate you taking time to come and visit with us today.
Sure.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions for you. Thank you very much for being
Thank
here
you.
this morning. That is all the folks that I had that are signed up to speak today. Is there anyone else in the audience that didn't have a chance to sign up to speak that would like to speak at this time? Anyone else that would like to speak? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at this time for the Sedgwick County budget for 2019. Don't forget, we do have another budget meeting coming up on August 9th, I believe it is, at 6 p.m. So anyone that would like to attend that meeting is welcome to attend. Madam Clerk, next item.
Consent agenda.
Commissioners, Mike Scholes, County Manager, recommend you approve consent agenda item Bravo.
Move to approve. Bravo.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
Aye.
Commissioner Ranzau?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Unruh?
Aye.
Chairman Dennis?
Aye. Next item, please.
Legislative issues.
Legislative issues. We have lost our attorney, so I don't think we have any. Oh, we've got an attorney. I'm sorry. Very good. Nothing there. Under other, does any commissioner have anything for other? I have one thing. We've been talking about the budget for some time. We do have a little workshop coming up on the 7th. I understand that we're going to talk about the different things on the budget that people have recommended up and above and beyond the 2019 recommendation from the county manager. When I attended the Sedgwick County Fair last Wednesday night, I went to the parade and then the fair. The president of the Fair Association talked to me extensively about one of the buildings that they have out there that is in pretty bad shape. It was built in the 1950s, and I have provided pictures of that building to all of the commissioners so that they can take a look at it. And our meeting coming up on the 7th, I'd like to discuss it in a little bit more detail, but I wanted an open meeting to let everyone know that I did pass out some pictures and a request from the president of the Sedgwick County Fair Association. We will discuss that further at a later date.
Chairman, we actually probably fit this in on the next staff meeting on the 31st. Might be the best when we're talking about Sedgwick County Park ADA issues and also pond bank stabilization. This might be a good fit for this one.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it on 31st then at our staff meeting. That would work. Okay. Very good. Anything else in other? Commissioner Howell.
Thank you. I just wanted to share, I had a tremendous visit yesterday, and I think some of the other commissioners may have gone as well, but we had the privilege of visiting some of our, I guess, a training facility, the local union. Is it 414 or 441? I get confused.
441.
441. Local union 441 has a facility over on 1st Street here in Wichita, and I had the privilege of going in there and meeting some of the folks and seeing some of the training that they provide. It is a is a 21st century I just say it's applied rocket science. Those guys are brilliant with the new technology they're applying to plumbing. It's really incredible. Got to meet a gentleman, John and Brian, that helped us tour the facility, and they are working with community college for general education credits. I do think there's a couple of opportunities for the commission to consider there, and I'll bring those up at a later date. But I just want to say thank you to them for the opportunity to see a training facility, and they provide training to hundreds of people in the community that are doing HVAC and plumbing, and they are exceptionally. They're doing an exceptional job in terms of their training aids and their ability to do just a great job training people that have no experience whatsoever in the trades, including welding and technology that's just unbelievable. So appreciate the chance to do that. I wanted to share that with the commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's the address? Where's the address of that building?
1330 East First.
1330 East First.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And I'd like to echo Commissioner Howell's comments. Commissioner Ranzow and I did go over there yesterday ourselves and take a tour, because we all can't go at the same time because of open meeting unless we declare it. So we took a separate meeting yesterday over there. And it is very impressive what they teach for plumbers and pipe fitters. I enjoyed the tour. I was very surprised to learn that their starting salary as they go into that school with they need a high school equivalency and pass the drug screen. But they start out at $17 an hour plus a couple change with benefits. That's the starting when they go in there. It takes 5 years to get through it. Once they get through the entire, and they're paid, they can work that entire time. Once they finish it up, their pay goes to, I think it was $34 an hour. Wasn't that correct? Isn't that what they told us?
I think.
Plus benefits on top of that. So it's quite a program that they have. In addition, it does, if someone has a contractor has a large plumbing job and they need 10 employees, they call up and say, send us 10, and they send them 10. If the contractor calls up and says, we need 100 employees, they call them up and say, send us 100 employees, and they send them 100 employees. And I don't know how many jobs needs 100 employees, but that's what they touted that they could do. So, and it is state-of-the-art training that they've got. The one thing that I suggested, they have teamed up with Butler to allow them to have a certificate at the end. I asked them if they might talk to WSU and WSU Tech for that, since we do provide quite a bit of support to WSU and WSU Tech. And it would be very nice if we could get them teamed up with people that we support directly. Commissioner Howell?
Just as a follow-up comment to that, without knowing your conversation, I got into the very same discussion, and I made the same recommendation as well. So I would also agree that that's one of the opportunities I wanted to bring up in a future date, is talking about how we can encourage them to partner with WATC or should I say WSU Tech or WSU to provide the general education requirements. They get through the program, they actually get credentials from the school. Again, an Associates of Science degree in construction or something like that. Anyway, it's just a tremendous opportunity, but they do need general education from one of the colleges, and so we certainly would like to see them get that from WATC, or I should say WSU Tech. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else under other? Commissioner O'Donnell.
Just one further comment on that. We had celebrity give us a tour yesterday, Lonnie the plumber.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so we can't talk about this without talking about Lonnie, because he was the impetus. At least that's who invited me. I don't know who invited you to go take the tour yesterday, but he's not here for us to recognize him like normal.
I agree. Lonnie's the one that invited us to go over there, and I was surprised that he wasn't in the audience, because Lonnie's always here. But anyway, I want to thank him for inviting us. Anything else for other? We have no need for an executive session today, from what I understand. I don't think we need to come back for anything, so I'd like to adjourn the Board of County Commissioner meeting today, but I'd like to call to order the Board of Governing Body of Fire District Number 1 for Wednesday, July 25th, 2018. Madam Clerk, first item.
Roll call. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Present.
Commissioner Ranzau.
Present.
Commissioner Howell.
Present.
Commissioner Unruh.
Present.
Chairman Dennis.
Present. I'm going to skip public agenda and come back to it. So next item, please.
New business. Item A, public hearing regarding the 2019 Fire District 1 budget.
Commissioners, this morning is the first public agenda on the 2019 Fire District 1 budget. It totals $20,487,728. This budget will be supported with a property tax levy of $17,220,037, which will require a mill levy of approximately 18.371 mills based on the estimated assessed valuation and subject to technical adjustments. I recommend you open the public hearing, receive comments, and close the public hearing once it is over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. As I said, I skipped the public agenda today so that we could bring it up now. At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing and receive public comment on the budget for the fire district. Does anyone in the audience, I didn't have anyone sign up, does anyone in the audience wish to speak on the fire district budget? Anyone in the audience wish to speak on the fire district budget? Seeing no one, I'd like to close the public hearing and the public comment portion for the budget for the fire district. Anything else need to come before the fire district today? Seeing nothing, I'd like to adjourn the Fire District Number 1 board meeting. Does anyone else have anything that we need to discuss today? I guess I can't because I've already closed the other one. Sorry. So disregard last transmission. I guess we're finished. We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Production and broadcast costs for Sedgwick County Commission meetings have been underwritten by Sedgwick County. KPTS welcomes comments from the public on its broadcast of the County Commission hearings. Viewers are invited to write to County Commission Broadcast, KPTS 320 West 21st Street, Wichita, Kansas 67203.